So I had this very real conversation with myself the other day. You guys talk to yourself, right? That's not weird or crazy or anything, right? Yeah. Most of the time when I talk to myself, I use a lot of I statements. Like I'm worried, I'm scared, I'm confused. But every now and then I do this thing where I kind of project blame on myself. Like whenever I'm embarrassed, I'm like, what are you doing? You better be funnier than this, you're closing the set. But then when I get really crazy, when I get really in an intense moment, I start doing this thing where I talk in plural. You know, I say stuff like, yo, we're fucked. We gotta get out of here. We gotta go hide the bodies. But I knew this particular conversation I had myself was really intense because I used all three forms. You know, so one of the, like, it pretty much went down like, I don't know about you, but I think we should really consider selling drugs. We're running out of options, man. And so basically what I'm saying is anything that's happening with this comedy shit, it needs to happen now. But I was thinking how interesting it would be if I actually was a full-time drug dealer and a comedian. I feel like my jokes would completely change. I'd have material be something like, don't you hate it when somebody owes you money and they don't pay you back for months? And then you invite them to this random event and strategically just lock all the doors, wait for the right time to be like, hey Tommy, I want my money. I'm serious, I want my money. But I think I just romanticize about the idea of what it'd be like to be at this crossroads. You know, that moment of where I'm gonna have to make that decision between drugs or comedy. You know, and on one side I'm gonna have, you know, my manager and agent, he's just like, hey man, this is it. This is that show that you wanted. Once you do this, it's on Easy Street. We're going to Hollywood. And on the other side, it's my friend, and he's like, hey, it's time to sell some drugs. But it's that important drug deal, you know, the one between like the cartel and the mafia, and I'm the only one who could do it because, you know, my name is Hispanic, but it's also Italian. I guess it has to be me. I don't know if it'd be an interesting life or just an interesting movie. I just know that I just know the movie poster would be awesome. It'd be me at a fork in the road, and in one hand it'd be a microphone, and like in the other hand a gun. I'd just be looking straight forward like this. But yeah, I feel like, and let me just say, for those who don't know me and anybody at home, I am not a drug dealer. I'm not. But if I was a drug dealer, I wish I was better at it. Because what I'm saying is that when I grew up in New York, drug dealing wasn't appealing at all. Those guys were losers. They weren't doing anything with their life. They were trapped in a bubble, stuck, might as well have been working at McDonald's. But I came out here west and I just started meeting people. I remember I met this guy at a music festival. I said, hey, what are you gonna do after this festival? And he's like, oh, you know, probably do a few more festivals throughout the summer, and then, you know, at the end of the year, go to Nepal for about a month or two and help the people. I said, help the people? Well, what do you do? He's like, I sell drugs. It made me reevaluate my entire life. But you know, like, and one thing I've learned is that you can't joke about drugs with drug dealers. Especially on the phone. You can't do that. Now, and that's hard for me because I used to joke about it all the time with my mom. You know, my mom would always, when I was a teenager, she said, hey, where you guys going? I said, oh, you know, we're gonna go out, probably get some booze, get some hookers, see what happens. Maybe we'll do heroin at the end of the night if everything is white. She's like, okay, have fun. She never took me seriously. I secretly did it in case any of those options ever came up. I can get away with it, but I never had to do it. But you can't joke about it because everybody now is convinced that they're being recorded, you know? The NSA is recording this, so you can't say any of these things. And I could believe that. You know, it's a possibility. I mean, it's so easy to record at any time, why not? But I don't really feel like they're paying attention to me. I don't think that my life is that important. If they were paying attention to me, I would gotta say, I think they'd be on my side. I think they know I'm horrible at this, and I'd be the one that they talk about at the water cooler saying like, hey, you remember that Mauricio guy? He's trying to work again with his friends from his hometown. The other co-worker's like, ah! What's this guy to learn? They don't have any money out there. And he is not good at this. The other guy's like, yo, I hope he's funny. Because this comedy shit better work. Man. All right, you guys have a good night. Love you.